everybody, my name is Bragster and welcome back to TEW 2020 where we're in charge of Impact Wrestling. Now we're off the back of the weapons-filled show of Impact where the main event saw Sami Callihan defeat Rick Swann after interference by Eric Young. We go into this one where the world title match will be happening. Alex Shelley versus Miro. It does have potential to be one of the best matches we've ever put on. And to think we can do that off the back of one of our normal Impact shows is mad to think. But we can and possibly will put on our best match so far. So this show I'm really excited for. We've got some real quality matches on this show. This is almost like a special episode. We've got the final of the Tag Team Classic. We've got Warhorse versus Chris Bey for the X Division title. We've got Jordynne Grace versus Tyre Valkyrie, to which if Jordynne Grace wins, she's in the match at Sacrifice between Hojo and Valkyrie. Grace would get added to that. Obviously, we've got that world title match as well between Miro and Alex Shelley. And our final match is Trey versus Dominic Gurini. Probably, fingers crossed, the first time we get an actual finish between them two. Might end up with a little bit of revenge for Trey, or Dominic Gurini can continue being a pain in the arse. But yeah, really stacked episode. It's almost like a special episode of Impact today. So we will have to see how that turns out. We've got a lot of morale issues at the moment. I'll go an extra show, but we might struggle a little bit at the moment with all these morale issues. They just don't like being left off Impact, and it causes a lot of trouble. Also thinking production wise, so I'm looking at it and you look at our rivals levels and stuff. We're looking at what live event experience, production values, music. The broadcast quality I think is the one we want to upgrade. Now I will upgrade it to an industry standard. Yeah, I think that is possibly the best one to do. Just because I think it puts us above everyone else in broadcast quality, and hopefully that'll help now. I'm not really sure what to do elsewhere. Obviously we're looking at stuff like Fight TV, production values, minimum stuff, broadcast quality, and music. So yeah, I think we might upgrade the rest at a later date, but definitely I wanted to upgrade the broadcast quality. That is something that that will just set us apart from the rest, I think. But yeah, so if you want me to upgrade all of them, I will upgrade all of them, but I don't think it's necessary right now. So we'll move forward. If anything happens beforehand, I'll show you. If not, we'll just get straight on into Impact. Right, well, we can get Lars Sullivan if we want. He will be available. I'm not going to get Lars Sullivan though. I don't want him. Not interested at all. Right, so we've got plenty of incidents to deal with. So first up is Hernandez and Mick Foley, where Hernandez is brought before the Wrestlers Court accused of failing to pick up his share at the tab of the bar, sentenced him to buy drinks for everyone. Lovely stuff there. Small positive impact on Hernandez. Then we got Scott D'Amore and Chris Sabin, where Scott D'Amore has been passing on microphone tips to Kip Sabin. Did I say Chris Sabin or Kip Sabin? I don't know which one I said. Chris Sabin. Scott D'Amore has been passing on microphone tips to Chris Sabin. Then we got Scott D'Amore and Alex Shelley, where Scott D'Amore has been passing on microphone tips to Alex Shelley. Lovely stuff there. And then we've got RVD and Wentz, where RVD has been passing on psychology tips to his protege Wentz. Lovely stuff, really positive stuff there. Motor City Machine Guns are already putting on some great promos, so I might do one on the show again today, just to see how much they've elevated. But yeah, let's just get on with the show. Right, so I've booked the show. I am really chuffed with this show. This was an easy one to really book, which gave me time to kind of book the next few weeks. Next week's show is fully booked. There's a couple of weeks after that, I'm not too sure what really to do, so that's kind of open at the moment. But next week's show definitely is booked up. And this one, even when booking it, it felt like a super show. This feels like it can go down an absolute storm. I've took a massive risk on the main event. You'll see why, but I've took a massive risk on this main event. Oh well, you can see it already. It's 30 minutes long. They can do it, but will it work is the question. Yeah, really excited about this one. So let's just get on with the show. So we start off the show with quite a cold open, really, where we start off backstage and Alex Shelley is talking about all the distractions. You know, he said, you know, we've got this tag team tournament final tonight. Obviously I've got my title match and stuff. Like, there's so many distractions going on tonight, and Sabin is like, look mate, don't worry about it. I'm going to go out there. I'll represent us for the rest of the night. You focus on you focus on your title match. Really cold open here. I've never really done a cold open before, but I felt like this was the sort of show to do it. Like, this is a big show tonight, massive show tonight. What a time to have a cold open, an eerie start to the show of just, you know, I'll sort everything out for Motor City Machine Guns, you go and be you go and win that title tonight. So yeah, unfortunately Chris Sabin did badly in trying to improvise, but it still got a 57 rating, which was good stuff. I cheated a little bit and I put the TJP storyline in, but he did reference of it. Oh yeah, that was the other part. He referenced the fact that, you know, if I win tonight, I've got TJP to contend with and stuff like that. And that's where Chris Sabin was like, look, I'll deal with that. That's why. So I did cheat a little bit, but you know, it does make sense. TJP's told them, I'm going for that title, so you know, it's obviously going to play on your mind. Then we start with a 47 rated match where the North defeated Ace Austin and Madman Fulton in 18 minutes when Ethan Page pinned Madman Fulton with a spinning facebuster. The North win the Chris Candido Memorial Tournament. That finishes the tournament now. Madman Fulton 42, Ace Austin 50, Josh Alexander 46 and Ethan Page 43. The North have won, which means that the North will go on to face Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley at the pay-per-view. It will be the North versus the Motor City Machine Guns, which I can guarantee will be an incredible match. 47 rated, lovely stuff there. Then we have a 62 rated segment. It was meant to be involved with the tournament. I don't know why it didn't involve it with the tournament. That's quite frustrating. But Foley presented the Chris Candido trophy over to the North. Chris Sabin was at ringside, kind of just applauding them as the North celebrate with their title. Obviously it's a trophy, not an actual title, but you knew what I meant. Then we have a 38 rated segment where Ken Shamrock tells Jake Chris that he's earned the respect of him, you know, but he tells Chris that he needs to start respecting legends. They shake hands. Ken Shamrock and Jake Chris shake hands here, which is a big step for both people here. Obviously, Ken Shamrock owing that respect, that's going to put over Jake Chris quite a bit, and Jake Chris showing that little bit of respect to a legend of the business is unusual for Jake Chris' character at the moment. Then we have a 51 rated segment where Rosemary supports Tyre Valkyrie backstage and tells her not to doubt her abilities. Rosemary was like, I know you're one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. I know you can beat Jordynne Grace tonight. You will become Impact Women's Champion and Impact Knockouts Champion. Go and do that. So yeah, Rosemary just offering that support and stuff. So yeah, really good segment by these two. These two are smashing out the park at the moment. A rivalry between these two would be great, but I don't want to split these two up at all at the moment. Then we have a 47, really? Wow! I wasn't expecting 47, really wasn't expecting 47. I was expecting very low 40s. Where Trey defeated Dominic Gurini in about 12 minutes with a Yoshi tonic. Dominic Gurini got a 39, Trey got a 45. I felt Trey needed the win here. Dominic Gurini can deal with not having the win, and I just didn't feel like it. I feel like Dominic Gurini won the first one, Trey should win this one, and there was nothing, no shenanigans, nothing at all. 47 rated, really nice stuff there. Then we have a 52 rated segment where Eddie Edwards challenges Shane Taylor and Chris Bey to a tag team match next week, and his partner will be Willie, Mack, and naturally obviously Elijah Burke in the Kingdom. Except this challenge, Willie Mack wasn't in the segment, he wasn't seen. We'll come to that later, but yeah, tag team match next week. Then we have a 46 rated segment where RVD challenged Tommy Dreamer to an old school rules match next week. Obviously these are both ex-ECW guys, so they want to have an old school rules match between the two. Anything goes. It was obviously this was going to be how they blow it off. Melissa Santos was there, and she kind of started off the interview with RVD, and then Tommy Dreamer kind of came into shot to speak, and Tommy Dreamer obviously accepted the match. Then we've got a 55 rated match where Chris Bey defeated Warhorse in about 15 minutes with a triple C. This makes defense number 10 for Chris Bey. He's becoming an absolute legend in the X division right now. Chris Bey with a 51 rated performance, Warhorse with a 45, 55 rated segment overall. Unbelievable match between these two. Really, I knew they would perform well. I thought it would be low 50s, but mid 50s. Really good stuff by these two. Bear in mind this was a placeholder feud as well, and there wasn't any build to this match. This match probably will be better in the future when these two rise up the card. Then we've got a 51 rated segment where Swan is fed up. He comes out and he's like, I'm fed up, I'm done with this, I'm done. He calls out Callahan and Young, who come out together, and he says, next week I want both of you. I wanted Sami Callihan in an ODQ match, now I want you both. There's no excuses. I will expect Eric Young next week because it will be a handicap match. So it will be Sami Callihan and Eric Young versus Rick Swann in a no DQ handicap match next week. Really good stuff here. I'm excited for this match. I don't know how it's going to go, but I'm excited for this one. I know what's going to happen in this match, and I'm excited to show it off because I'm really enjoying this feud. This is one of my most exciting feuds right now. It's weird how I've gone from struggle. So Rick Swann and Eric Young, I really like that segment. The middle bit where it was Johnny Gargano and Eric Young, I wasn't really sure how to book that. The addition of Sami Callihan and obviously that brutal attack on Johnny Gargano has just made my excitement go skyrocket in terms of this rivalry. I'm really enjoying booking this one at the moment. Then we've got a 46 rated match where Tyre Valkyrie defeated Jordan Grace in about 16 minutes with a Northern Lights suplex. No shenanigans, Tyre Valkyrie did it. I wanted... obviously you could play into the fact that both Hojo and Purrazzo were at ringside for this, and maybe Tyre Valkyrie was able to get rid of that in her head, just a little bit, was able to just take that away from her head, whereas Jordan Grace might have been, you know, focusing too much on that. Whether that came into play, don't really know, but I wanted Tyre Valkyrie to kind of get almost a clean win, even if it was playing on Grace's mind. I wanted her to get a clean win, just to kind of consolidate she is the #1 contender right now for that title. 46 rating, knew it was going to be a decent match between those two. Really happy with that. Then we've got a 61 rated segment where Elijah Burke confronted Moose. He went up to Moose and offered his services and said, Moose, I respect you, I respect what you do. He went, and for me, you have a place in the kingdom if you want it. And he just walks away. Moose doesn't get a chance to say anything. No one says anything. Elijah Burke has just offered Moose a place in the kingdom. And that's all we've got. I've been planning this from the very beginning. You guys will be sick of me saying that, but I knew where this storyline with the kingdom was going, and yeah, he's just offers his services to Moose. Really happy with that segment. Then we've got a 58 rated segment. This is more like it from Heath and EC3, where EC3 cuts a dark promo. Only EC3 can really cut these types of promos at the moment. He's very good at cutting this very serious dark promo, and he challenges Myers and Rhino to face them next week. He wants to face them next week. He wants them to come face to face like men, and he said, and I'm challenging you. You give me your response next week. It will be EC3 and Heath versus Rhino and Brian Myers at the pay-per-view, and that's the challenge that EC3 sets. And obviously we'll get the answers next week. 58 rating, lovely stuff there. Then we've got a 51 rated segment where Willie Mack challenges Eddie Edwards. He's like, I'm not happy with you. He like properly goes in on Eddie Edwards and tells him that he didn't want to be involved in this. He didn't want to be involved. He respects Chris Bey. He respects the stuff that Burke does. He didn't want to get involved with the shenanigans between these two. And yet Eddie Edwards has got him involved, and he was enraged and he just stormed off. So yeah, the match will be happening next week, but Willie Mack's not happy about it. And then the main event of the evening. Will it be good? Will it flop? I do not know. This could either be our best match so far or our biggest flop so far. What is it? 54. I think it's a bit of a flop. I expected more. Damn it. Miro defeated Alex Shelley in about 27 minutes with a muscle buster. Miro makes defense number 3. Alex Shelley outperforms Miro. That's the issue at the moment. I'm cheating. I'm looking at the dirt sheet. Alex Shelley got a boost. Everything boosted it. Alex Shelley was penalised for struggling with the psychology of a slow build. Ah, right. They didn't have enough psychology. I thought they had enough psychology for it. And then penalised for the crowd already being on emotional high. Okay. If they had the psychology for it, it would have been better. I thought they had good enough psychology. They have like 70 psychology, but clearly not enough. Unfortunately, I should have just left it as a storytelling match because I think it might have hit that 60 mark. Ah, that's unlucky, and that's a 55 rating. That show was gearing up to be one of our best, and I fucked it up with that main event. Damn it, damn it there. Yeah, increased our popularity still. It's still a really good show for Impact, but damn it, that main event. I need to stop messing around. I know what works, and I want to try new things, and that spectacle I thought would work for this one. I should have just done a storytelling slow build match and made it the same amount of time. I think it still would have worked, but yeah, unfortunately it wasn't quite the one. I'm actually disappointed in that. I thought everything was gearing up this show to be really, really good, and don't get me wrong, it was a good show. Just that main event flopped a little bit. If that main event went the way I thought it would, I think it would have been in really good stead. Damn it! That's disappointing. That's really disappointing. Yeah, that got me. That did. I was expecting a bit more from that match. Alex Shelley outperforming Miro is quite concerning, though. And Miro didn't get as penalised as Alex Shelley. Yeah, that's really worrying, that match. Yeah, that's just annoying. Apparently we were excellent, but just wanted that bit extra, you know. I just wanted that bit extra. That's actually quite disappointing. Viewers and stuff, yeah, great. Oh, I don't know why that's really got to me, but that really did. Like, deep down, that hurt, because I was thinking this could have been one of our best shows so far, and unfortunately not so much. We'll look at the Chris Candido tournament. It rised a lot in terms of prestige. The X division might have increased. It did increase a little bit in prestige as well. He's held this title a very long time, 178 days. Could be one of the longest reigns so far. When did he start holding it? Reign began in July. So yeah, he's held it for a very long time. Not many people have held it for a long time. So yeah, really good, happy with that. And then unfortunately, I think that decreased the prestige it did. Oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, they would have easily hit that 60 mark. Like, they would easily. There were better performances than Moose and Saban were. Yeah, they were as good, if not better performances than Moose and Saban. So they would have hit that high 50s and would have put on a great show. Damn it. Yeah, just a bit disappointing that. We'll look at the merchandise. We're getting towards the end of January. Unfortunately, we're not selling as much merch as we were, which I don't like. Chris Saban's not sold as much as Moose. Moose has sold more, which is nice to see. Sammy Callahan has sold more. Miro sold quite a bit less. EC3 has sold roughly the same amount, not too bad. Mick Foley hasn't sold as much. Alex Shelley is very high on that list. He's one of our top stars at the moment. And Johnny Gargano hasn't sold as much either. I think that's because he's off TV a little bit. But yeah, I'm a bit disappointed with that. But we'll move on into Explosion. If anything happens beforehand, I'll show you. If not, we'll get straight on in with it. Right, so we'll look at AEW's Dynamite, which was a 66. Great main event where Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega defeated SCU. Yeah, really good stuff from them there. Yeah, really good stuff by AEW, and I'm guessing we're going to lose to NXT this week. Wow! They had a 69. NXT beat AEW this week. They had Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai being a really good match there. And they had Adam Cole defeat Velveteen Dream for that NXT title in a cage match. Really good stuff by NXT there. That's a great show. That's like their first great show in a long time. So, really happy for them there. As I said, it's nice to have a bit of rivalry. Hopefully my show next week can be better. This week should have been better, but it wouldn't have been amazing. It would have only been about a 60 anyway. So yeah, really good stuff by AEW and NXT here. So we got a backstage incident between Scott D'Amore and Rhino, where Scott D'Amore has been passing on microphone tips to Rhino. Lovely stuff there. Right, so I'll book Explosion and then I'll show you what happens on it. Right, so I've booked the show. I'm reasonably happy with it. Unfortunately, there will be a match where Trey will win here. Again, he has chilly momentum. I'm not really sure what's going on with him. His momentum is low, even though I keep booking him to win. I keep booking him quite strong. Yet he still has awful momentum at the moment. It's very hard to rise someone up the card that has no momentum, and I want to rise Trey up, but I'm currently watching other people, TJP, Ace Austin, other people on the roster are rising up their card naturally. Jake Christ, perfect example of someone I had absolutely nothing for, which is why I started the gimmick of this old people beater-upper. is basically what I started because I wanted Tommy Dreamer in the rivalry and I had nothing for Tommy Dreamer. Yet Jake Christ the one that came out with the win in that rivalry because he showed me he had a lot more promise. Trey has shown me promise in real life, he's shown me promise on the game, and I just can't get momentum behind him. It's so difficult, especially when I'm like, I'm just booking everyone else naturally and they're just naturally rising up, and I was doing that with Trey, and now I'm having to really try with Trey just so he is rising at the same pace everyone else is, because otherwise he's going to get left behind the likes of Jake Christ, TJP, Ace Austin, Chris Bey, Warhorse, all people that he's just going to be left behind if he's not careful. Anyway, we'll start off this show and see what happens. So we'll start off the show with a 49 rated segment where Melissa Santos tells TJP that he and Miro will be facing Madman, Fulton and Ace Austin on Impact. I inserted this match, I never really intended to have this match, and then I realised that if I added this match in, I'd have more matches down the line, and I feel like this is the right time to do this match, because the way I'm going to go with it is clever, and I actually think, well, I wouldn't say it's clever, it's quite obvious which way I'm going with this, but a way to get there is by having this match, and I just feel that like TJP and Miro being a team and being this dysfunctional team, because TJP wants that title, will go well with obviously Madman, Fulton and Ace Austin just losing in the final of that tournament. And obviously there seems to be some unfinished business between Ace Austin and TJP, even though they've had multiple blow-off matches, there seems to still be this unfinished business between them. But yeah, it's going to be a great match, we all know it, so why not do the match? And that's what I'll be doing. Then we've got a 43 rated match where Doc Gallows defeated Rohit Raju in about 10 minutes with a bicycle kick. Rohit Raju got a 35, Doc Gallows got a 45, which is nice by Doc Gallows actually. 43 rated, lovely stuff there. Then we've got a 49 rated segment where ODB berates Su Yung for taking her out the other week and wants her to face her face to face, and she gets nothing and she storms out. ODB storms out annoyed. Su Yung is nowhere to be seen. Then we've got a 35 rated match where the Sons of Perfection defeated TNT when David Boy Smith Jr. submitted Terrence Dudley with a sharpshooter. David Boy Smith Jr. got a 40, Joe Hennig 44, TNT got about that 15 mark. This is why I like having teams like TNT in there. They can take a loss to boost up the stock of people like the Sons of Perfection, but you do need those teams that can just take losses and it won't affect them, and this is TNT are one of those teams, which is nice, because otherwise it would have meant that I'd have, like, the Dinas have lost a tag team match, or, you know, one of my other teams lose a tag team match. It's nice that I don't have to do that anymore. Then we have a 45 rated segment where Thunder Rosa tells Serena Deeb that she respects her and she always gets the best out of her. And Rosa's just like, it's nice to have you in the company, you know, you are one of the only people that can push me to my limits and really get the best out of me, and I respect you for that. So a nice show of respect between these two. Then we've got a 40 rated match where Melina and Tennille Dashwood defeated Havoc and Nevaeh in about 12.5 minutes when Tennille Dashwood pinned Nevaeh with a roaring elbow following a botched interference by James Mitchell. Mitchell getting in the way here. Tennille Dashwood 39, Melina 32, Nevaeh 31 and Havoc 42. Really nice stuff here. I wanted Melina and Dashwood to get a win, but I also wanted Havoc and Nevaeh to have a tag match, so I just put them both in the same segment and it worked out here, and I get to also see how Havoc and Nevaeh do as a tag team, which is decent. We're going to change Nevaeh's gimmick because right now she doesn't really, her gimmick's not that great, so I'm going to change it to a Daredevil gimmick. It got an adequate rating, the same rating as her last gimmick, but it could rise over time as the fans get used to the new gimmick. That's fine. Wins and losses have a greater impact on popularity. Can be penalised for losing to certain gimmicks, which is fine. But yeah, decent stuff there. Then we've got a 35 rated segment where Stephen Amell is being interviewed by Melissa Santos, and Melissa Santos is like, "You've got something to tell us," and Amell's like, "Yes, Mick Foley is going to be on Impact this week. He's guaranteed to be there, and he will be making a rather large and a rather big announcement." Yeah, this is the hinting of an announcement. This has been in the works for a few weeks now, and this is the right time to give this announcement, and it will be happening on the next episode. And then the main event is a 44 rated match where Trey defeated Cousin Jake in about 13 minutes with a Yoshi tonic. Really good stuff here. Trey getting that all elusive win. Yeah, good stuff. Cousin Jake having a really good performance as well. I think if I actually wanted to push Cousin Jake, I really could. I've just got nothing for the Dinas right now. They don't really fit anywhere right now. So it's rather difficult to use them when they don't fit anywhere. They might get involved maybe with Tommy Dreamer or RVD or someone like that. Maybe just I need them to fit somewhere. I just need storylines to finish. Maybe Ken Shamrock, Jake Crisp, maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm not really sure where the Dinas fit right now. And then it gets a 45 rated show. Really decent stuff here. I'm, you know, obviously the main show disappointed me. Obviously Explosion never disappoints me ever, because there's always good matches on it. But it's one of those things, I took a risk and it didn't pay off. That's going to happen, but I'd rather that happen on a main show than the pay-per-view itself. And they didn't put on a terrible match, it just was the minimum you would expect from those boys, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted to push them to the limits, instead I pushed them to their lowest. And that happens on this game, it does. But we've got some really good stuff lined up. Obviously, we got that announcement by Mick Foley on the next episode. We've also got a couple of big tag matches. We've got the Shane Taylor and Chris Bey facing Willie Mack and Eddie Edwards. We've got Miro and TJP facing off against Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. We've got Rick Swann trying to fend off both Sami Callihan and Eric Young in a handicap match. So some great stuff here on its way. And yeah, I'm excited. We're really powering through into this pay-per-view now, and it's exciting me. So yeah, hit that like button if you like this video, and I'm continuing to enjoy this series. Comment anything down below, especially to do with how to use certain people. Obviously, Frankie Kazarian and Jeff Hardy are on their way. What do we do with the Dinas? Obviously, that Jake Chris storyline is kind of ending there, so what do we go with them? So yeah, there's a few different things that I would like your input on, so do put them down in the comments down below. If you're new here, please do subscribe so you do not miss an episode, and I shall see all of you guys in the next video. See ya!